Push hands is an invaluable training exercise unique to Tai Chi Chuan. It was designed by past masters of the art in order to allow Tai Chi practitioners to learn how to absorb and to redirect incoming force. In recent years, it has become a competition event. This short film illustrates the stark differences between how push hands competition is conducted in the United States when compared with the competition standards set by mainland China and Taiwan. This is a push hands competition ring in China. Note its large size, allowing a great freedom of movement for the participants. There is one and only one judge. He alone is responsible for making all calls, and his calls are obeyed without question. He acts sparingly, either to reset the players at times or to call points. He also announces the winner. By comparison, here is an American push hands ring at a recent national competition. It is small and confined, restricting the movements of the players. Note the enormous amount of judges, some taking notes, others just standing around, while the competitors attempt to play. With so many eyes on the participants, and hence judges capable of making calls, the competitors no doubt feel that their match is in danger of being micromanaged. This competition was also used to train judges who got to practice their often hesitant and in many cases incorrect calls on actual competitors at a national tournament. Shouldn't this all be worked out thoroughly in advance? Why should the competitors potentially suffer for this kind of disorganization? These matches were early in the day. Later on, the matches proceed, with only about half a dozen judges in attendance. Still, it begs the question, why do we need so many judges for an event of this kind when China uses only one? Examining our rule set might give us a clue. The following techniques are considered illegal in American push hands competition: bracing, steepling, charging, hooking, hauling, and throwing, and anything resembling force, even when skillfully applied.
Stop! This is steepling because you're leaning on him. So warning for steepling, white. So this is what we call bracing, right, where both of you are leaning in and forcing yourself against each other. 4, 5, 5, 5. Heavy hauling going on there. So I'm going to call a warning on hauling. Stop. That's bracing. Stop. Bracing. White. Warning.
Whoa!
See, now that's excessive force because that's throwing. Stop. Got a hook right back here. Warning, white. Stop. Bracing. Red. Warning. Stop. Stop. Okay. All right. Hooking. White. Stop. That's bracing. Stop. Double hooking around the back. Warning. Red. Stop. That's far too much force. Okay. Now, if this keeps up, I'll jump in here. Both of you will be disqualified. Okay? Both. Right. So actually, this is a lot of force. Right? So if you do a little lighter, that would be nice. Yeah, that'd be really good. Stop. Far too much force, gentlemen. Stop. Little too much force in there, folks. So here's where we get force. What are they going to do? There are real distinctions here.
Yes, there are real distinctions to be made here, but our American judges, most of whom have never competed and are themselves often of limited accomplishment in Tai Chi Chuan, capable of making them without resorting to imaginary or fantastic ideas about what constitutes actual Tai Chi Chuan skill. To find out, let's look at similar contests in China for some answers. These two competitors would certainly be disqualified in America for bracing, or at very least using excessive force. Bracing occurs when two competitors clash briefly during a push-hands match. Other martial arts, such as judo and boxing, recognize such a position as an opportunity to interpret the opponent's strength and balance, and as a springboard for evolving the next technique. In Tai Chi competition, this position allows us to test our stance structure and ability to root, dispersing the opponent's force through our body by assuming a certain shape. The Chinese are aware of this, and therefore this so-called bracing is always allowed, and is only stopped if no technique is evolved after a certain period of time has elapsed, not immediately as it would be here in the United States. Consider Professor Cheng Man-ching, seen here testing his rooting ability against the tremendous pressure of four men. Is this force against force? An American judge might see this demonstration as just that, perhaps not realizing or understanding just how much pressure such a man had taken repeatedly, over and over again, on his body before developing both the stance structure and the linking strength required for such a demonstration. This is not a bracing technique. Professor Cheng has simply learned how to make a proper shape with his extremities and spine, which allows him to efficiently channel large amounts of force. Although it may appear that little effort is being exerted to accomplish this, make no mistake, tremendous exertion of the whole body is required.